Okay, we're recording.
Okay.
Don't mess this up. Where's my
Is that
phone?
loud enough?
I dropped it.
You dropped it.
Where's my phone?
I don't know.
Oh, here
Find
it is.
it.
All right, guys. I have a special guest on the channel. This is my wife. She hasn't been on here in forever. I think the last time you were on here was when you were pregnant.
No, it was like a week after I gave birth because I drank wine. So hopefully I was not pregnant.
But what?
Hitchcock.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. You haven't been on here since you were pregnant.
No, I was not pregnant at that point. I had given birth.
We did that video after you had Silas? Really?
Yeah, like a week, maybe 2 weeks after.
Are you sure?
I'm positive because I was drinking wine in it. That was the first time I had gotten drunk.
I don't even know. I don't even know how to run my own channel.
I should be your manager.
No. So today we're going to do 5 films to watch during the Halloween season, the spooky season. So we actually have not seen each other's list. We don't know what films are on each other's list. But before we get into this, check out my link tree down below. You can check out my filmography and all the other stuff. I'm always looking to meet other filmmakers, collaborators, and it would mean the world to me. And hit that subscribe button. So am I going to start or are you? I think since you're the guest, you should start. And we won't go like too crazy going into detail with these. But yeah, so I've got my 5 here.
All right.
You've got your 5. I won't look over at your phone.
Oh, okay.
But I might
Funny.
cheat a little bit on my 4th one,
Okay.
but I'll explain. I'm going to.
Oh, great.
I'll
Of course.
explain. No, stop.
Of course.
Stop. Okay. All right, you go.
Okay. So on my list, I do not have any of the big horror franchises. I think that those have all been very much talked about. I think they are all wonderful, but this is more so a list of things that maybe people aren't as familiar with.
Like Halloween. Halloween is a
Yeah,
given.
Halloween. Of course, you're gonna watch
Yeah, you're
Halloween
gonna put
on
Halloween on there. Halloween, yeah. So
Yeah,
so
it's
we
a
don't have
classic.
Halloween on there. It's already on there. Like it's our number 6.
Yeah, it's number 6. It's honorable mentions. So number 5, number 5, I had Monster House.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I remember when I was growing up, I went to the theater and I begged my mom to go see it, and that movie scared the crap out of me. And then we rewatched it not long ago, and I fell back in love with it. He didn't really like it that much, but I love it, and I feel like it's a good, just Halloween, just cozy movie to just curl up and watch.
I have seen the film multiple times, and I like it. Don't get me wrong; it's still a great film. Like I do enjoy it, but I always use this term in every single video that I make. People enjoy it more than I do. Like that's sort of what I always say, and that's sort of the positive way to say it. Like I think that is a positive way to say it. Like, hey, you enjoy it more than I do.
Yeah.
But Monster House is a great pick. It's nice. It's fall-y.
It's folly. I was so torn between that and Corpse Bride and Nightmare Before Christmas. All of those, I just kind of went with my gut for maybe one that not as many people know about or talk about.
You
So.
literally just listed 2 that I know are not on your list now, but I figured they might be.
Ha ha ha. Guess what? You're in for a ride.
So, my number 5 is American Werewolf in London.
Aw.
That is my number 5, and I know
That is
that's
a good one.
yeah. I mean it. I don't necessarily think you would consider it a Halloween movie, but when you think of atmosphere and the tone of it, like that is just. I think that is the perfect film to just get under a blanket and drink some boo piss and.
So I'm not gonna say the other one that you made.
Yeah, and just just chill out because it's such a good film. And I mean, even putting the technical stuff aside, like the werewolf transformation, which is absolutely phenomenal. It starts off so strong, so eerie. Like it's probably one of the eeriest like openings I've ever seen in a film, where the 2 people are
Yeah.
just walking in the moors, and then you hear the howling and stuff. It is the perfect Halloween film, I think. One of the perfect Halloween films, because I mean, how many Halloween songs do you listen to that has a wolf just howling in the distance? Like you just start it up. It's like, hey, here's I just bought this Halloween greatest hits CD. I'm gonna put it in the car. The first thing you're gonna hear, guaranteed, is like, ow. Like that's the first thing you're gonna hear. I just think American Werewolf in London is amazing. I mean, you guys have probably seen it anyway. This is like a recommendations list.
Yeah.
And I feel like the 2 films we've already listed, you've probably already seen multiple times. but we'd be lying to ourselves if we didn't put them on here. So American Werewolf in London is my number 5.
That is beautiful. All right, you ready for number 2?
What? You mean number 4?
Okay, my phone wouldn't let me go backwards. Maybe
What do
do
you
1,
mean
2,
your phone
3,
wouldn't
4.
let you? What do you mean? Do you have like a Nokia or something? You can't.
Like literally, I put 5 and then it did 6, and I was like, oh no, I can't do this. So I just listed them. I don't know. It's
let me have a
funky.
drink.
Okay. Anyway, my number 4, don't listen to my phone, is Hell House LLC.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one.
That's your favorite one?
Yeah. Okay, so I kind of dozed off in the last one, and I really liked what I saw of it, but I need to rewatch it. So for now, Hell House LLC is my number 4. It's not like super Halloween-y. It's got the right vibes. It's got the right concept. They're making a haunted house, getting ready for Halloween, in essence. But it is probably the scariest found footage film I've ever seen. And it scared me the first time, and it's hard to scare me, so it takes number 4 on my list.
That's a good number 4.
Right?
I like it. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Interesting.
My number 4, and this is the one where I said I was going to like cheat a little bit. I got Creep.
Oh.
But I would also
okay.
put Creep 2 in there because I feel like they go hand in hand.
I don't think that's cheating.
And then they have the Creep tapes that's coming out next month, which I'm like super excited for. Because Creep is in my top 15 favorite films of all time. Like I love Creep. Like I've always said, the found footage genre is the most underappreciated genre, and this is coming from a pretentious bitch. Like, I mean, I'm all about Bergman, Tarkovsky, Kurosawa, Kubrick, Von Trier. Like, I mean, but I do think, like, I would love to see a found footage film from those directors. Like, I've always said, what would happen if, like, David Fincher made a found footage film or something like that, or like Nolan or something, because I feel like found footage is the genre that has not been explored to its full extent. Like, I think it's been made, it's been done so many times, but when you see a found footage film, it's always done the same way. Like, it always follows the same tropes. It always follows, like, the same sort of, I guess you could say, path that all the other ones do. But Creep kind of did something a little bit different, which it, for one, made the lead character, I guess, in Mark Duplass, which you don't really know his actual name in it, it made him very likable, and you sort of know that something's off, but at the same time, he's still very likable, and that's great character development, which is something you don't get in found footage films. Like, you don't. I mean, maybe Blair Witch Project, but even then, you're just sort of more so watching it for the shock value of what Blair Witch Project is. But even Creep 2 sort of elevated the first film in a way to where I think you should just watch both of them back to back. Like, Creep, I love Creep. We even have matching t-shirts, which we should have worn during this video, but we didn't. Well. Because we're garbage.
It's too late now. Let's hurry up and change.
We've been married for 5 years, together for 7, and we just think we can fucking slack. Like, what the hell?
What is marriage without slacking a little bit?
Yeah. Huh? That's my number 4. What's your
number 3? I have Lisa Frankenstein.
You got a shirt?
Yep, I have a shirt.
See, you gotta get the logo.
Yeah, I got the logo. Sorry, I'm cold. So, Lisa Frankenstein came out in February, and it technically came out as a Valentine's movie. But I think it has just the whole 80s, the soundtrack, just the whole concept of it, I think is fantastic. And honestly, I don't think that it's really been a film that's made... I can't talk. There's not a film that has been made like that for a long time.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Am I wrong with that?
No. I mean, like, so I have a 2024 ranked list on my Letterboxd, and it's towards the bottom.
I know.
But it's not that I didn't like it at all. It's just, it very much so is a style that I'm not necessarily too keen on. Like, no. If I was to watch it by myself, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much as watching it with, like, say, you. Or
that was our Valentine's Day movie.
And I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the experience, but I don't think it's a film that I would necessarily rewatch. But again, that's just me. So I am probably wrong in this situation. Like, I guarantee you on a rewatch, I'd probably appreciate it more. Aren't we supposed to rewatch it again?
Yeah, we're supposed to rewatch it again soon.
Yeah, it's the peach. It's the peach. The peach in the film, the peach where she's eating the peach.
Oh yeah.
That knocked it down 7 points.
Oh come on. But it's like it's Edward Scissorhands for a new generation. It gives Edward Scissorhands a little bit.
That take is wild. Maybe it's not. See, that's the thing.
I think it's.
That's the thing. My audience is gonna watch this and they're gonna be like, "No, your wife's white, right? Because she's adorable. Like it is an Edward
No, they're
Scissorhands."
gonna be like, "Man, she's dumb as fuck."
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Damn, get her out of your fucking videos."
This is the last video we want to see her in. Okay. All right, what is your number 3?
My number 3. Hang on, let me do a little research here, just so I get my facts straight. Yes,
gosh.
well, there's multiple cuts of this film.
Okay.
So I got to make sure I'm talking about the right title and the right one because I want to recommend the right cut to these people. Okay.
Okay. That's every time while he's looking it up. Every time we're about to watch a movie, it comes up with 2 different versions. He's like, "Hold on, real quick. I gotta see which one's better."
So my number 3 is Night of the Demon, and it's directed by Jacques Tourneur. I hope I'm saying that right. This is one that I actually recently watched for the first time, and I fell in love with it. Like the atmosphere was on point, and it's very rare that I find a film that came out in like say the 50s that's genuinely freaky. Like there's a demon in it, Night of the Demon. There's multiple cuts. Watch the European 95-minute version, 96-minute version. That's the version you want to watch. I think that's the definitive version. But it sort of had this weird thing where it was if Hitchcock made a horror film. And the reason why I say that is because, yeah, people would argue that Hitchcock has made a horror film with, say, like Psycho or The Birds or something.
That's pretty horror.
But those films are not scary. Like
during their time.
Yeah, they were. But if you were to show those to an audience, a modern day audience now, they probably would look at it and be like, "It's not good enough quality for me." Like,
yeah.
No, that's a joke. But you get what I'm saying. Like
most of them, yeah.
Yeah, like they would be like, "What? I'm supposed to be
white?
scared of fucking birds? Like it couldn't be eagles or something?" Like that's what they would probably say. But like for me, Night of the Demon, it was scary because it had good monster design, which listening to reviews of it, a lot of people said that they didn't like the monster being in it because they wished that things would have been more open-ended, like for you to decide, which I do understand. Like I do love a good open-ended ending, but at the same time, I think the monster design for the time was really good, and it's really freaky because you've not seen it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's it called again?
It's called Night of the Demon, which I watched it when you were asleep.
Happens pretty often. I'm not gonna lie.
But they only show the demon twice. They show it. I don't want to spoil anything, but they show it twice, and during both times, like it's basically the guy's running in the woods, and you see like this thing of mist that comes towards the guy, and it's very eerie because you're like, oh, okay, well, he's so terrified, but this isn't terrifying, and then you actually get to see what it is, and you actually get to see the demon from the distance. And it's so eerie the way that it's executed. Like, I can't explain it. And whenever I watched it, I was like, I really want to watch this again. But it is like, I think one of the best films you can watch during spooky season because it's one of the few films that came out in that time period that genuinely got under my skin. Like, you always see those films, like those horror films from like the 40s and 50s, and they're supposed to be scary. But then, like, you see, like, they'll have it framed in a certain way where somebody will come in and be like, "How you doing, old chap? There's a ghost," and it doesn't work for me sometimes. But that's number 3. I went on way too much. So yeah, what's your number 2?
I get it. My number 2. You will never guess this. Hubie Halloween.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I'm serious. I love Hubie Halloween. I had it on as my comfort movie for a long time. Every time I would fall asleep, I would be watching Hubie Halloween. I
agree. I like Hubie Halloween.
Thank you.
That if I did a top 10, that would probably be on it because it's so comforting. Like it really is. And it's just like, I don't know, you put Steve Buscemi and Adam Sandler and Shaq in the same film set during Halloween. I mean, how can you not be comfortable?
Yeah, you know? Exactly. You're gonna be living it up. It's funny. I don't know. It's comforting. It's a really good Halloween movie. If you've not watched it, please go watch it. It's on Netflix. I think that's his last or So Uncut Gems came out, and then he was like, I want to make the worst movie ever because he didn't win any Oscars. And then he made Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, but
I loved it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't his worst movie ever. He actually did really good.
Yeah, and he makes what he wants. That's what I respect about Adam Sandler is he makes what he wants, and that's what
Yeah.
you should ultimately do. You know, like I mean, because life's short. It's like in the moment you're like, yeah, I want to make this masterpiece, and then you're like about to die, and you're like, fuck, man, I really wish I would have done what I wanted. But it was, yeah, I like Hubie Halloween a lot. Wow, that didn't even like. It wasn't even on my mind. Like I wasn't even thinking about that.
I was so excited for you to hear that one because I knew you would be blast from the past.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go watch it after this.
A blast from the past, but that wasn't that long ago.
It was like 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago.
Fuck, we're getting old.
Hold on. Let me do my research.
We're getting old.
2020. 4 years. That was pretty close.
2020 is like that year that just it didn't exist.
Maybe that's why it was my comfort movie. I was like, everything else is.
Why? Because it's just such a shitty year.
Yeah. Please, I was down bad with The Office and Hubie Halloween, just like.
So my number two. So this number two is like. I mean, it's on it. This would probably be on everybody's top 5 Halloween list. Like I know, whenever we said we weren't going to bring up like a slasher film or whatever, like Halloween.
I said I wasn't. I never spoke for you.
Well, no, but I mean, I wouldn't either. But this film, you just have to bring it up in the month of October. Like I feel like if I didn't bring this film up, I'd probably like go to hell or something. Like I mean, and that's Trick or Treat.
Mm-hmm.
Trick or Treat is like the essential Halloween movie. Like Trick or Treat is almost what Santa Claus is to Christmas, like with the little Sam, like with the bag over his head.
Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing is, the old man in Trick or Treat, you didn't know this, but that's Brian Cox
Oh, really?
from Succession, Logan Roy.
No way.
Yeah. And one of the things that he requested whenever he made the film was that he had long hair.
Really?
Yeah, he's the old man. Yeah.
I don't want to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, well, we are, because we're getting the 4K at the end of the month. Mm-hmm.
That was also. That was on my list, and then I got to thinking about it, and I took it off of there. But that was going to be my number 4.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was
thinking. But then I was like.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about it. Like, I didn't know if I was going to put it on the list because, I mean, it would be on everybody's list. But it just felt like wrong to not put it on there.
I know, and it's not like there's not like 50 Trick or Treat movies. It's just one nice little cute one.
I'm still waiting for that sequel, though. I do want a sequel to Trick or Treat.
I would also like a sequel.
Because that's another thing, the anthology film, is I think the anthology film has not been used to its fullest extent.
No.
Like, a found footage and anthology, I feel like are just films that people sort of make, and they make it just because it's that type of genre, and they're sort of easy to do, but I feel like there's so much more you can do with them, and it just really intrigues me, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I do agree.
Alright.
Alright,
All right,
ready
girl.
for the big one?
Yeah, what's your number 1?
Alright, number 1. So, it's not really a film, it's a mini-series.
But it's fair. I know what it is, and it's fair.
Yeah, I had to check with him because I was like, I really want it on my list. So he did know this one, but
We watched it together.
We did.
Yeah.
It was Over the Garden Wall. If you have never heard of it, please do yourself a favor and go watch it.
Yeah.
It is amazing. The soundtrack, just the story. It's nice, contained little 10-minute episodes.
Yeah, they're like 20 minutes. I think they're closer to 20 minutes. Are they 20 minutes or are they 10 minutes?
I thought it was.
All I know is they fly by.
Yeah, they fly by.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of different storylines. They're different storylines, but they're all in the same universe. And some of them are a little bit creepy, and some of them are just cute. And it's just the perfect balance of a little bit of horror, a little bit of cute, a beautiful soundtrack, all of the perfect fall vibes you could ever want. I love it. It is my favorite. I love it.
You know, there's a live action short film coming out. Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
Yep, and it's a sequel.
It's a sequel?
I think so.
Okay. I don't want to say anything, but the ending is so good too.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
not
it
gonna
has.
spoil
Yeah, it's got a very
is-
unique twist on the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
it's really good. Yeah, because I actually made a separate video about Over the Garden Wall. Like I made a video about it, and I call it a cartoon. Well, I call it a cartoon because I know a lot of people prefer animated, but it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like it is a cartoon. Like I know that cartoons and animated films are the same thing technically, but I do feel like cartoons have sort of this certain aura around them that make them more distinct than an animated film. Like
Yeah.
when I think of, say, something like Ed, Edd n Eddy or SpongeBob or something like that, I don't think of animation. I think of a cartoon. Like that's
Yeah.
what I think of. And Over the Garden Wall is like, I literally think that it's the perfect thing to show kids to help them grow up because it is like very mature, but at the same time, it's not overdoing it. Which, I mean, me and Kelsey, we're on the same page for parenting for the most part. Like, but I mean, because I mean, I would show my kid Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, I mean, I watched
When he's
it.
older. When he's older.
I watched it when I was young, and I turned out okay.
Did
I
you?
think. I mean, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Like, you know. I mean,
Yeah, I'm fine.
yeah, I'm fine.
Except
but
for I have sleep paralysis. You name it.
but it's not because of that. But no, I think that it's good for kids. Like it because it sort of introduces them to a more mature way of storytelling. And I do think as parents, because I think every parent wants their kids, like if you have a favorite film, like I get the general
Yeah.
population, they don't have like a line of movies they're waiting to show their kids. Like they probably
Yeah.
do, but it's not like it is extent as ours. Like I can't
I
wait to show
know.
my son Stalker from Andrei Tarkovsky. Like, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's a good segue to like get them used to that sort of storytelling where it's not constantly somebody getting hit over the head with a fucking hammer and like you see
Yeah.
X's come on their eyes and stuff. It's very well paced and narratively speaking, it's approached differently than say like your normal cartoon. I'm going to keep saying cartoon because it is, but
I think
um,
it came out on Cartoon Network.
yeah, exactly. The
Cartoon
network
Network.
it came out on had cartoon. Like I would even say that this is the best thing to show your kids, like apart from Adult Swim, because I would show
Mhm.
Silas Adult Swim as he got older. It's not that bad. Like I mean,
it's
it
not
don't
that bad.
like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Squidbillies, which I don't know. I think Squidbillies kind of fucked me up a little bit. But yeah, that is a fair number one. I think that is a great number one.
Just thinking about it gives me warm feelings.
Mm.
Just the opening. If you have not watched it yet, just go look up the opening intro,
Mhm.
and it's beautiful. It's just whenever I learn to play it on piano, I will be at peace.
Peaced.
At peace.
You ready for my number one?
I'm ready. Hit
Do
me.
you know what my number one is?
It's gotta be Halloween, isn't it? Just joking.
Do you
It's
really
gotta
not?
Be,
Do you really not know what my number one is?
it's gotta be the new Hell House.
Yeah, it is. My number one. My number one is Hell House LLC Origins. Now, let me say this: Hell House LLC Origins is in like my top 32 films of all time. It is,
Yeah.
and it is technically below Creep, which came lower on this list. But I am waiting to rewatch Hell House LLC Origins because I think it's going to move up high. Excuse me. I love that film. I went back whenever I was saying like, oh, I wonder what it would be like if this director or this director or this director made a found footage film. Hell House LLC Origins is that film. I don't give a flying fuck what anybody says. Hell House LLC is underrated as shit. Like that fucking film is amazing. It is so good. It's so well executed. It has some amazing set pieces. It is one of the few films that is like the fourth film in the franchise, and I would recommend people watch it just based off of that one. Like you don't even have to watch the rest of them. Just watch Hell House LLC Origins, and you're good to go. Like that film is made so well. Like, and it takes some mockumentary elements too and applies it to the film, but it's creepy, it's engaging, it's neat, it's clean, it looks so good and crisp, and it's, you know, like how you'll watch a found footage film and it'll look like really clean and crisp, and you're like, there's no fucking way. Like, there's no way that these fucking people took a camera out in the woods, out in this damn field, with this 4K, 6K Panavision camera,
Unless
and
it was you.
unless it was me, and made it like look like this. But Hell House LLC Origins kind of explains it and really does do a good job executing it.
Yeah.
There's a specific part in the film, which I don't want to spoil it, but just to prepare people, where you're out in the woods and you hear something screaming, and it was so eerie. Like, it put Blair Witch to shame, in my opinion, when it came to that. Like, it was so eerie. I really don't want to say anything more about it. Like, watch Hell House. Yes, like, I'm kind of scared about the fifth one.
I know.
They're making a fifth one.
Are
and
they?
yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I think I'll probably have a greater appreciation for it because I understand that Hell House LLC Origins was such a banger that I don't know how you follow up on it. But if they do, I'm not going to be upset. Like,
honestly,
go for it.
In the last little bit, they've went from like almost unknown. When we first watched Hell House LLC, it was like a very little known, like, cult following film.
Yeah.
And now look what they're growing to. They're working on their 5th film.
Yeah, and a lot of people talk about it, especially in the film community, like on Instagram and stuff. Like, it is one of those series where cinephiles and just general audiences, I think, really enjoy it. Like, a lot. They have a good time with it.
It's fantastic. The whole, Hell House LLC and then Hell House Origins. 2 and 3 are...
I didn't like 2 and 3 that much.
They're there. You can watch them if you want.
Yeah.
But definitely watch those 2 that we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, that's our video. That's our Halloween recommendations. We just thought we'd want to collaborate again. I don't know when we're going to collaborate for the next time. I really wanted to do like a Federico Fellini ranked with you or a Bergman ranked. That Bergman ranked is never happening with you.
No,
it's going to be just with me because you're so behind on his filmography. Like, I've probably seen 20 more films of his than you have, so you've got a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, listen, you were watching them at work. Okay, how am I supposed to compete with that?
You know, we could no, because I'm doing that with my buddy LR. I was going to say Robert Eggers ranked.
Okay.
No, we can do.
Hold on, we'll do another one. What about?
We can do an Ari Aster ranked.
I'd be cool with that.
Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and maybe subscribe if you want to see her in future videos.
Don't tell me if I did good or bad.
Don't get used to it because she's a very, very busy lady. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Check out my link tree down below, and we'll see you next time.